Bob Herbert writes for the New York Times, and he said in a column he wrote a couple weeks ago that this program, not in San Francisco but nationwide, is the best kept secret of the Federal Stimulus Act. It's not a secret to San Francisco. Over 225,000 people across the country. Thank you. In the back, small conversations are allowed up here. Across the country, over 225,000 people will have been hired through this federal stimulus money. And as the mayor will note in his remarks, over 3,600 here in San Francisco, which is just unbelievable. We started in San Francisco early. We started in May, and we're up and rolling really quickly. And I was on a lot of conference calls with other states and other cities. I've presented our program across the country. I was in DC last week, advising folks how to get these types of programs going. And invariably, the question I would get...
Come on now, be quiet! Thank you!
Thank you. Invariably, the question I would get would be, what are the factors that contributed to your success? And there were a number of them. Flexibility of the Human Services Agency staff. They literally switched jobs mid-course, were retrained quickly in a program that was brand new, and delivered services that resulted in all of you getting jobs, and you who are employers being able to hire people. So can we give them a hand, please? Couldn't have been done without a fantastic management team at the Human Services Agency. We gathered together and we said that this was going to be the biggest impact on people in San Francisco in terms of volume since Care Not Cash. Care Not Cash has housed over 3,000 people. This program has put over 3,600 people to work. Of course, the partnership with the Chamber of Commerce. My first meeting outside of the Human Services Agency walls was with the Chamber. Their support, their assistance in helping getting folks to the table was invaluable. But the number one reason, the number one factor in the success is the leadership of Mayor Newsom. Cities and counties and states were struggling with how to implement this. There was no guidance from the federal government. There were no regulations. The state was barely aware of the program. I presented it to Mayor Newsom, told him these were the risks, and he said, take the risk, let's go for it, do it, and he had our back. He met personally with the Chamber, he met with small business groups, he met with industry sector groups, encouraging them to hire people, telling them this is 100% of wages that will be paid. The reaction was, what, are you kidding me? Absolutely, 100% of the wages. And Mayor Newsom, coming from Mayor Newsom, I think it goes a long way. He went to the governor's office, visited with the governor's chief of staff and with the governor's point person on Aura, who's here with us today, talking about our program, saying, why aren't more counties in California doing this? Having the leadership in Room 200 in City Hall is invaluable in moving an initiative like this forward so quickly and without any guidance from other levels of government. So here's the one downside. When the mayor is interested in a program, he is really interested. He wants data almost daily. I gave it to him weekly. How many people have we placed? What are the numbers? Sending him texts. Our initial goal in May was 1,000 placements. We hit that in November. After I texted Mayor Newsom, I said, hey, we hit 1,000. He did say congratulations, but the next sentence, our goal is now 2,000. We hit 2,000 months later. What was his next response? Our goal is 3,000. We hit 3, and I interrupted him and said, hey, our goal is now 3,500. We've reached it. And we've reached it largely because of his leadership. And I'm very happy to introduce him to speak with you guys, talk more about this program. Everyone give it up for Mayor Newsom.
Thank you, Trent. Thank you all. Well, this is a pretty extraordinary sight. We had a department head meeting about 10 days ago. and I brought up the idea that it's time for us to put a human face on this program, JobsNow, and that I asked my staff, Trent, Rhorer, and other members of my economic development team to see if we could call a few businesses and a few nonprofits and see if we can get together about 100 people into a room to tell their stories. Well, little did I know, 10 days later, we wouldn't just have 100 people, but we'd have over 1,000 people down here at City Hall. A big round of applause to all of you for taking the time. I think that this goes to the reason we wanted to bring you here. It wasn't just to introduce you to one another, as wonderful as that is. It wasn't certainly to introduce you to this program. You already know everything you need to know about it because you're participating in it. But it was to make this point that this program is funded only through September 30th of this year. This is an incredibly important point. We said this when we launched this program, that there was a time limit on this program, that we can't promise you that we could keep you in these jobs, in these positions, past October 1st of this year. Now, we also made the case that we're going to do everything in our power to lobby our federal government to extend this program. Here's what we did. We went to our friend, our local representative, who just happens to be the Speaker of the House, the most powerful woman in the world, Nancy Pelosi. And she jumped at this. She actually, I'll be honest with you, and I know her reps are here, and I don't want to lay out the Speaker of the House, and I'm not, but she was stunned at how successful this program had become. And she was more stunned that other cities, not just in the state of California, but across the country, had never even heard about it. Billions and billions of dollars were sitting there in this stimulus program, and over half the states hadn't even implemented a project in order to draw down those federal monies. So she immediately went out to her colleagues and she made a case for this. She sent me down to Hilda Solis, the Secretary of Labor, to talk about this. And Hilda, who's from California, Southern California, said, I can't believe I didn't know about this program. This is a great program. I'm going to go out and promote it. And that's what Hilda did. Here's what Nancy Pelosi, though, did subsequent to our meeting. She went and, as only the Speaker of the House can do, in a fast-tracked effort, drafted legislation and got the House to pass overwhelmingly an extension of this program for 1 year. Now, that was great news. That was great news. But as all of you know from civics class, you know that bill that walks up to Capitol Hill? Remember that cartoon? There are two houses in Congress. You got the House of Representatives and Speaker Pelosi, and then you've got something called the Senate. Here was the good news. We then marched down, and we have a friend in the Senate. You may know her. She was the former mayor of San Francisco, one of the senior senators in this country, Dianne Feinstein. She said, I love this program. She said, without laying her out, her representatives here, I didn't know much about this program. She said, I can't believe other states aren't taking advantage of this program. She says, you should meet with some of my colleagues. And we went out and did just that. She signed a letter. She got her other colleague, Barbara Boxer, to sign up and say we need to promote this. And we got a few dozen other senators to sign to commit to this bill. So here's what happened. A few weeks back, this is the stuff you've been reading about or hearing about, there's a lot of debate in Congress about now spending money and concerns about deficits. They had a jobs bill in the Senate that included an extension of $2.5 billion for this program. Would have allowed us to hire thousands of additional people and support every single one of you for at least the next year plus. And it got stripped. It got drawn back. I don't want to be partisan here, but let's just call balls and strikes. The Republicans pulled it out. It's just a fact. And now we have to step up and step in. That's the long-winded reason 10 days ago I invited you all down here. Because we need to come together. We need to come together and remind them what's at stake. This is the most successful stimulus program in this country. It's as simple as that. This is working. You're working. You've come back to work. People are bringing food back to the table. You're supporting your children. You're supporting your children. You're supporting your parents. You're supporting your family. You're supporting this economy. You're supporting this city, this state, and this nation. And now we need our representatives to represent that success in the Senate and to support this extension. So that's why we're here, folks. We're here to wake up Congress. We're here to wake up the U.S. Senate. We're here to wake them up, because if they don't do their jobs, you won't have a job. And that's why we need your help and your support and your voice. And we need it loudly and clearly. So let me just conclude by thanking each and every one of you. And I got one thing. We're going to hear from business leaders that have stepped up to the plate. You're going to hear from some of your friends and colleagues that have actually gotten the chance to get a job because of this program, that have been out of work. But then I want to ask you all, do not leave. I need you. I can't believe there are not 10 damn cameras here. It infuriates me. I'm serious. They write all these stories and talk about them all the time, but there's not one camera here. That's wrong. So what we're going to do, I appreciate the Cron and the Examiner here, but what we're going to do, I want all of you on the steps. I hope the steps can hold us. And we're going to do a family photo. And we're going to send it all over the country. No other city has done this. We're going to send it to Harry Reid. We're going to send it to President Obama. We're going to send it back east to Congress. We're going to walk in the halls. So you're not allowed to leave until we do that. But in the interim, we're going to hear from people that have stepped up to the plate. 700 businesses have stepped up to the plate. Chamber of Commerce stepped up to the plate. My friend Herb has stepped up to the plate. We're going to hear from them. We're going to hear their stories. But I will conclude by asking all of you to thank the staff at the Human Services Agency and to thank Trent Rhorer for his incredible leadership. They made this happen. They are making this happen. So thank you, Trent. Thank you to HSA. Thank you all for being here. And now we'll have an opportunity to hear from real folks. Thank you all.
Now that's leadership right there. Thanks, Mayor Newsom. As I said, the first meeting that I called outside of the Human Services Agency walls was with the Chamber of Commerce, notably the President and CEO, Steve Falk. We didn't know much about the program. We knew about the opportunity for businesses in San Francisco to hire and to get their wages paid. So we sat down with Steve, and he had more questions than we had answers, but his questions helped us frame how we were going to design the program. Moving forward, it was an interesting partnership, and one that was healthy in that we would get a lot of very constructive criticism about how we were implementing the program. And that came from the Chamber and the membership of the Chamber. very helpful in us redesigning on the fly a program that we'd started very quickly. So I'm very pleased that Steve's with us today to say a few things, and really want to thank him and the Chamber and the Chamber's membership on supporting this program and hiring many of you. So Steve Falk.
Thank you. Thank you, Trent. Thank you, Mayor Newsom. I have to be honest with everyone in the room. The Chamber of Commerce gets a little bit nervous when someone knocks on our door and says, "I'm from City Hall, I'm here to help." But when Trent Rhorer knocked on our door, we opened the door and we talked to him, and this program sounded too good to be true. So we dug into the details and we figured out that it was true. It was true thanks to our mayor's leadership and insistence that we put this program into place. We worked with Trent, we worked with the staff. He dotted all of the I's and dotted all of the T's, and the results are all of you in this room. Of the 700 businesses that hired 3,500 of you, almost all of them are small business. How many of you work for a small business? Small business is what makes this city run, and we can never lose sight of that. So on behalf of the Chamber, on behalf of thousands of small businesses throughout San Francisco, thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Trent Rhorer. And the next time someone knocks on our door from City Hall with a great idea, that door will be wide open. Thank you.
Thanks, Steve. So I mentioned a meeting with the governor's office that Mayor Newsom arranged. It was with the governor's chief of staff, Susan Kennedy. There was another individual in that room, and that was the governor's point person, then point person, on ARA, the Federal Stimulus Act. Herb's here with us today, Herb Schultz. He has since moved on to larger responsibilities. Herb is the director of Region 9 of Health and Human Services for the federal government. What does that mean? It means that, sort of through extension, he's my boss. His office oversees several Western states and their health and human services operations, under which this federal program lies. He was supportive in the governor's office. He's supportive now in his new role, and I'm really happy that he's here with us. Please give a round of applause to Herb Schultz.
Good morning. Can I hear a little bit of Jobs Now? Jobs Now. It is an awesome, awesome pleasure to, one, be a new resident of San Francisco, to be living under this mayor's leadership. I want to acknowledge not only his phenomenal leadership and Trent's, but let me tell you, the day he walked into the governor's office and now representing the Obama administration, he has not stopped. He continues to call, he continues to write, and he is the national leader in helping the president and the Congress see that we must extend this program, right? Okay. I want to know how many of you are employees out there that have been hired because of this program. How many of you are employers? Okay. Okay. Well, let me tell you one thing that I think is important to know, because the mayor has said it, but let me say it as a representative of this Obama administration. Okay? This mayor, the reason we're here celebrating today is not just because this mayor helped you in San Francisco. This mayor helped hundreds of thousands of people like you, employers and employees across the country, understand this program. Now. So I have one ask of you today. How many of you have friends and family and relatives all over the United States? Well, we would like you to call, email, Twitter, Facebook, write all of those relatives and you say, our mayor's done it, our president and Health and Human Services secretary want this program extended, you call your senators, you write your senators. If you're close to Washington or their districts, go visit your senators and say, I am an employee that's benefiting from this program. So you have our commitment that we will continue to partner with you, San Francisco, partner with everybody in this Region 9, and with your help, partner across the country in order to extend this vital, phenomenal program. Thank you very much.
We are so lucky in San Francisco that our representative to the House is Speaker Pelosi. We're also lucky that this program is one of her top priorities, and she has shown that time and time again. She's been out to San Francisco 3 times in the last month and a half for events related to JobsNow. We met with her staff last week, her Chief of Staff, Terry McCullough, and she said, you really don't need to be meeting with us. We know this is the priority. They're walking the halls. She got her colleagues to vote to support this, to pass this through the House. We're happy to have her Deputy Director of the Field Office, Melanie, here. She's going to say a few words representing Speaker Pelosi. Melanie.
Hi, everyone. What an incredible crowd. I know if Speaker Pelosi was here in San Francisco, she'd be standing here on this stage applauding all of you for being part of the JobsNow program. So thank you all for everything that you've done to be part of the JobsNow program. Although business in Washington does prevent Speaker Pelosi from being here, she did send me with a very brief greeting to read to all of you. Dear friends, thank you for gathering today to recognize the extraordinary successes of San Francisco's JobsNow program. I would like to offer my warm congratulations to the employees, the employers, and the local leaders who've made this program a national model. Your hard work has not only enriched our city and sustained our communities, you also are helping to lead this country to a lasting recovery. Through the JobsNow initiative, you have already put more than 36,000 San Franciscans back to work, many of you. With the vision and leadership of Mayor Gavin Newsom, San Francisco's JobsNow program has become a model for a nation that meets the needs of our community. In the House of Representatives, I have fought with my colleagues to extend the TANF funds as part of the American Jobs and Closing Tax Loopholes Act with another $2.5 billion for next year. And the JobsNow program has shown this nation how important it is that we must maintain the momentum of these solutions. But as has been said, we have to call on our senators, specifically Senate Republicans, to support this important program and invest in American working families. Thank you once again to Mayor Newsom, to Trent, Rhorer, and all whose support and participation have made JobsNow a success story. Congratulations to all of you on being part of this remarkable achievement. Warmest regards, Nancy Pelosi, Speaker of the House. Thank you all.
Well, I took the liberty of, those of you who have a program, I took the liberty of going out of order because I wanted to save the best for last, and that's people who directly benefited from this program, employers and employees. We brought them here to just briefly tell their story and how this program affected their business and affected their lives. First off is Marissa LaMagna, and she's with Bay Area Green Tours.
Good morning. My name's Marissa LaMagna, and I'm Executive Director of Bay Area Green Tours. And we shine the spotlight on the pioneering models of sustainability in the Bay Area so that people can see models that work for business and for their lives. We launched Bay Area Green Tours in conjunction with Green Festival November 2008. And like any small startup, we were met with a lot of challenges. And then we were hit with the economic downturn. Up until the beginning of the JobsNow program, I had one employee, and I didn't have access to sufficient capital to take on another. My business was stagnating, and I wasn't making significant progress. There were many times I thought about quitting. Then I heard about the JobsNow program. The financial support that allowed me to hire Ann Topol to take care of the most essential part of my business, crafting the tours, was a huge door opening for me. Ann is the perfect person to help me. She had been on one of my tours, and she's at Dominican University's Green MBA program. And she came totally in tune with what we did and passionate about our mission. Her contribution has primed the pump and gotten our operation off the ground and has been an essential function of our progress. My greatest hope is that we continue to grow during the remaining months of this program so that we can continue to keep her on staff. And I'm extremely grateful to the JobsNow program and to my business account representative, Victoria Dostal, who I finally met today. She's been incredibly supportive. She's helped us maneuver through all the red tape, and she's been a joy to work with. I know that the momentum that Bay Area Green Tours is feeling right now is directly responsible and directly in relationship to this invaluable resource, and it has allowed me to turn a corner into success, which in turn helps my employees and our local economy. Thank you.
Here's my program. We did a survey, real briefly. We did a survey of employers to see what the impact of this was, and we asked them a number of questions. A couple of the questions. One, did the employees help your businesses grow? And two, would you have hired these folks without the subsidy? Over 80% said that this program helped their businesses grow and increase sales. Over 80% said these jobs would not have existed without the federal money. That's what the federal stimulus money is all about. Representing a company called Book Pig are, well, now I see why the name is Book Pig, are Tom Pigoski and Tamara Rivera.
Thank you. Thank you. Good morning. My name's Tom Pigoski. I'm the founder and CEO of Book Pig. Book Pig is a children's book rental service, similar to Netflix, except with children's books. Using our service, families can go online and select books they want, have them delivered to their house, keep them as long as they like, and return them. For a low monthly fee, families get to avoid late fees. They don't have wait lists. And we've got a great recommendation engine that tracks the reading level and the preferences of each child, and allows us to recommend books they'll love. By allowing parents a convenient and affordable solution to keep a constant supply of books in the house, we encourage children to read more. Book Pig was founded in October 2009 by two San Francisco families. All parents were unemployed at the time as a result of the economic downturn. We thought we would start a business and see how it went. Working part-time and unpaid, we were able to launch the service and build the product. And we launched to friends and family in January. In March, we heard about JobsNow, and to be honest, we thought it was too good to be true. But we looked into it, and we worked with Jim Welly and Kathy Davis, and we were able to find two great employees. Sarah Leask and Tamara Rivera, both unemployed single mothers in the city. Tamara is now in charge of operations, picking and packing books, processing orders, and shipping. Sarah is in charge of marketing and PR. She handles our outreach, affiliates, and partners. These two employees have been vital to the success of the company, and we're grateful to have such hardworking and dedicated people. So, with these two employees aboard, we were able to focus on really growing the business, and that was the goal. So within the time frame they've been aboard, we've tripled our customer base, we've expanded our library to over 10,000 books, and we're really starting to gain traction. And this wouldn't have happened without them. So we're launching several marketing programs, including a a social media campaign. We'll have to somehow tie that into, twittering about jobs now. And a revenue share program with schools where we give 5 to 10% of revenue back to the schools. So this is really a really important thing. So in closing, we really want to thank JobsNow. We wouldn't have been able to do this without their support. We want to thank the city of San Francisco. We're grateful for the opportunity to employ Sarah and Tamara and help their families out. And we look forward to growing a world-class company right here in San Francisco. And of course, helping kids read more. Thank you.
Since we have so many representatives from small business here, I do need to recognize someone, and I saw him earlier. I hope he's still here, and that's Scott Hauge. Scott has provided the agency and the city, where's Scott? There he is. Thanks, Scott. With great feedback in streamlining our processes, and has really been helpful reaching out to his partners in the small business community to hire folks. We have now, and be patient, we have 2 more speakers, and then we'll take that big picture. Now we're onto the employee side. We have Colin, Swan, and Bruce Van representing SkyTech Solar, if you guys can come on up.
Hello, everybody. My name is Colin Swan, and I'm the founder and CEO of SkyTech Solar. I'll repeat that. My name is Colin Swan, and I'm the founder and CEO of SkyTech Solar. Our mission is to install solar at absolutely no cost to low-income residents of San Francisco, and this is paid for by the city of San Francisco and by California. The rebates are paid directly to SkyTech Solar after the solar installation is up and running. The payback is immediate to fixed income residents who are finding it difficult in these economic times to pay for their bills. We now have over 170 household customers and counting that qualify for our free solar program, and I've already installed free solar for 42 households to date. We have hired 5 people from the JobsNow program to do marketing and solar installs. It has helped us tremendously. The business was started just after the banking crisis, and no bank would accept applications for business loans unless you had at least 2 consecutive profitable years in business. This would prevent any startup from getting a business loan. With the JobsNow program, the funds that we receive help us expand our business to hire new employees. We use these funds to provide on-the-job training for JobsNow employees. The employees learn a valuable new green skill that gives them the experience to be successful in the solar industry. Each JobsNow employee is an asset to the company and brings something special. Bruce brings with him 30 years experience as a roofer with the skills to make sure we seal the penetrations of the roofs we work on so that there are no leaks. Carlos brings electrical experience to assist with the wiring of the solar system to PG&E, and Destiny brings dedication and determination to get the job done, always with a cheerful attitude. We expect our JobsNow employees to continue installing for us with or without the extension of the JobsNow program. Thank you. However, if the program is extended, we'll expect them to train the next group of JobsNow employees. Thank you. I'd like to introduce you to Bruce.
Good morning. My name is Bruce Van, and today I am an employee at SkyTech. And before that, I was unemployed for 2 years. And I had to turn in the keys to 2 cars to the bank because I couldn't pay for them anymore. Couldn't support my daughters. Couldn't get welfare, couldn't get unemployment. And, things were really, really bad. But I've been with SkyTech now for about 8 or 9 months. And I'm hoping that this program gets extended so I can continue to be there. Short and sweet, I'm glad to be back in the workforce again. Thank you.
Like our implementation of JobsNow, we went quickly and were flying blind at times, and I did that, and I overlooked Tamara Rivera, who is an employee of Book Pig. I'd like her to come up.
Hello, my name is Tamara Rivera. I'm a single mother of a 10-year-old girl, Julia. Previous to discovering JobsNow, I was unemployed for over a year. Money was extremely tight, and I spent the majority of my time looking for a job, posting my resume, and going on dead-end interviews, instead of spending time with my daughter. As you can imagine, I was frustrated and very unhappy. I needed a job to cover my living expenses and give me purpose. I first heard of Book Pig through JobsNow, and I thought my experience volunteering at my daughter's library at her school was great. Fortunately, they agreed. At Book Pig, I am in charge of receiving inventory, processing orders, picking and packing books, shipping, in short, making sure customers get their books the kids want. I was trained on how Book Pig's operation system worked and challenged to come up with ways to make it more efficient. It's great to be a part of a team where my role really matters, and I get to provide valuable feedback to help shape our service. In addition to this important responsibility, I have been given the opportunity to assist in the production of Book Pig's marketing materials and develop graphics for the website. These are skills I hope to build upon in the future. Having this job means a great deal to me. I have grown in confidence and am very happy to get up in the morning as my life has some purpose and meaning. I am able to pay my way and provide for my family, which has had a positive influence on our lives. I am now able to spend time with my daughter and do the things with her instead of looking for a job and constantly worrying about money. This past month, I was even able to buy her a bike and enroll her in summer camp, which made us both very happy. I am now a positive role model for Julia, and she benefits from my improved attitude to life. Finally, as a bonus for both of us, we get to use Book Pig's service. I never knew how much Julia loved reading prior to working here. She now reads several books per week, and we have her friends over for book review parties. And it's very hard to stop her from wanting to read all the time. I was amazed, but this only reiterates to me how important my job is. In closing, I'd like to thank SF JobsNow program. The program has affected every part of my life in a positive way. I am also thankful to Book Pig for bringing me on board and allowing me to be a part of an exciting startup business. Thank you.
Thanks, Tamara. I did see a face in the audience I wanted to recognize. It's the president of San Francisco's Human Services Commission, Dr. Pablo Stewart. The commission has been unwavering in their support of this fantastic program. About 800 of the participants in JobsNow are helping out the public sector in trainee positions, contributing to the public good, whether it's through recreations and parks, public health, Department of Environment, and of course the Human Services Agency. I'm really happy to introduce the next person because she worked for us at the Human Services Agency as a receptionist at our front desk. I got to see her smiling face every morning as I walked in. Her name's Carla Garcia. Carla, come on up.
Please excuse me, I'm a little bit nervous. Okay, my name is Carla Garcia, and I'm a single mother, and up until July 9th of this year, I was a JobsNow participant. Back in March 2009, I was laid off from a local real estate brokerage because of the mortgage meltdown. I found myself out of a job with very little income and a family to take care of. I tried applying everywhere, answering Craigslist ads, newspaper ads, attending job fairs, but only came up with a part-time job outside of the city. I heard about the JobsNow program from Ms. Ramona Torres, my employment specialist. She encouraged me and referred me to be placed as a public service trainee with the City and County of San Francisco. I interviewed and eventually was placed at 170 Otis as a public service trainee performing various administrative duties. After being unemployed for which seemed an eternity, the program gave me a new sense of being, and I felt like myself again. My kids seemed happier and even told me that they were proud of me because I never gave up. Working as a public service trainee, I was able to brush up on my admin skills, attend various staff trainings, and become a part of a team, which is the Human Services Agency. It felt good to bring home a paycheck that I had finally earned. All along, we understood that this was a federally funded program that would last until September 2010, unless it was extended. My supervisor at that time, John Murray, encouraged us to look for permanent employment, requiring us to apply for at least 5 jobs a week. Back in December 2009, I received an alert for a job opening with the city and county as a 2903 ineligibility worker. I applied, and because of my experience in the Human Services Agency as a public service trainee, I was notified that I met the minimum experience and qualification requirements. My family and I were ecstatic. I actually had a chance of becoming a permanent employee somewhere. Later, I took the civil test and was notified that I had not only passed the test, but I ranked number 9. In mid-June, I interviewed for the eligibility worker position, and as of July 12th, I am a permanent employee of the City and County of San Francisco. It has not been an easy task, but if it were not for the JobsNow program, I would still be trying to survive. My kids and I have gone full circle this past year, and I am very grateful for the JobsNow program and all of the great people that I have worked with at the Human Services Agency. This has truly been an amazing experience, and I feel truly blessed. Thank you all.
Glad you're full-time now. All right, just thanks for your patience. We are almost done, and then that picture. I just want you, please, to recognize again the employees who have gone back to work and the employers who stepped up to hire them. Please give them a round of applause. All right, just to say, and I got to thank you guys for your enthusiasm and for coming here today as well. Just to say a couple closing remarks, I'll bring Mayor Newsom back up, and then we'll close. Thanks.
All I have to say, again, thank you all for coming out. Now we got to do our family photo, the group photo. And then I'm going to ask all of you to make sure, I know this sounds like, when we're back in school and we all said we have to write our congressmen and women. But I'm going to ask, we're going to get the photo back to all of you, and then we're going to start a real concerted effort. Here's the good news. Congress comes back from recess in August, and there's a real opportunity we have in a very short period of time, a short or rather small window of opportunity. And that's why every spare moment, I don't want to take you off the job, every spare moment, we need to organize and keep building the capacity, keep building this framework so we can make that powerful argument to get this extended. I am still hopeful we can make this happen. What do we all want? When do we want it? What do we want? When do we want it? When are we going to get a photo? Let's go out and get it.